What's going on everyone, JStar15 here and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon episode review. We are getting closer and closer to the finals of the Pokemon League. So, if you want to find out what happens in the first match of the semi-finals, stick around because we are going through it now. This week's episode is Pokemon Sun and Moon episode 135, the semi-finals Kiawe versus Gladion. Okay, so recap time. Gladion won his battle against James, Ash won his battle against Hau, Kiawe beat Sophocles, and Guzma beat Lana. Okay, now that's out of the way, we can jump to the semi-finals, and the semi-finals can begin. So, straight off we get to see Kiawe and Turtonator doing some training against Ash and Torracat that we haven't seen for quite some time. We then get to see all of Ash's friends, the rest of them, and they're all talking about who they want or who they're going to be rooting for in the match. Sophocles is going to be rooting for Kiawe, while Lilith is going to be rooting for her brother Gladion. But Mallow and Lana don't really know who they want to win, even though they've only met Gladion about 5 times, and they've been travelling and being best friends with Kiawe for at least 3 years. I mean, come on. Anyway, with Lily cheering on her brother, Kiawe then says he wants his sister cheering him on too. They then look at the time and realise that they need to go and meet Kiawe's little sister, Hoshi, or her English name, Mimo, which I actually had to look up because I didn't know. Anyway, the group then head to the boat where Mimo will be getting off, but no one is there as the boat has arrived 30 minutes early. So as you can imagine, Kiawe being a big brother, is starting to get very worried at where his little sister is. We then pan across to Mimo, who is looking down at the stadium from up above and wondering how to get in there. She then gets interrupted by Team Skull, who are graffitiing on the wall. Mimo, being the brave little girl she is, tells them off. Team Skull get their Pokemon out and start to threaten her, but luckily, Gladion is there to save the day. Gladion tells Mimo to follow him to the stadium. Mimo then runs up, holds his hands, and they walk to the stadium together. As they're walking to the stadium, Gladion looks down at Mimo and it reminds him of how Lily used to hold his hand when she was younger too. I will say the way that they showed Mimo being a young child and wanting Gladion to look after and protect her by holding his hand, I thought it was very, very good how the way that they showed that and portrayed that across. So yeah, they nailed that 100%, so well done to Pokemon for showing that. Anyway, after a few more steps, Kiawe comes running up and gives Mimo a big hug and says that he's been really worried about her. He then thanks Gladion for looking after her. We then get to see Team Rocket, who have sold all of their donuts and don't really know what to do now. So, there's only one thing they can do. Go back to being evil and try to steal Pokemon. And the way they're going to do this is by building a Fortnite mech suit. Just kidding, because we don't want Pokemon to be ruined like Fortnite. But anyway, the way that they're going to build their mech suits is by selling more donuts. So, now they're really confused on what they want to do. Swinging from one evil team to another, we then get to see Team Skull. Guzma is telling all of them that the semi-finals and the finals will be easy. Do not worry, he has got this 100%. He will destroy the league and destroy everyone. But Plumeria is there and tells him to not underestimate Ash. Okay, moving on from Team Skull, we now have the first battle of the semi-finals. Kiawe versus Gladion. Olivia will be the referee and tells them it will be 2 against 2. I mean, really? It's 2v2. It's the semi-finals. We should be having 4 or 5, if not 6 by now. Come on. I mean, last Pokemon League, the Kalos League, the semi-finals we had Ash versus Sawyer, and it was a 6-on-6 battle. Why can't we have that now? Okay, yes, Kiawe and Gladion don't have 6 Pokemon. In fact, Ash doesn't even have 6 Pokemon at the moment, but come on, we should be getting more Pokemon into these battles. Anyway, Kiawe has gone for Alolan Marowak, while Gladion has chosen Midnight Lycanroc. Immediately, Marowak goes for a Boomerang, but manages to miss Lycanroc. Lycanroc then uses Swords Dance to make his attack go up, then uses Stone Edge. He misses on the first time, but lands on the second time. Marowak manages to get in close by using Flare Blitz, and then goes for an Iron Head, pushing Lycanroc back. But once again, Gladion tells Lycanroc to go for another Stone Edge, slamming into Marowak and taking it down to the ground. Looking at Marowak, and we can see that it is unable to battle, which means Gladion is 1-0 up at the moment. Turtonator is Kiawe's next choice. and he decides to come up with a tactic on how to beat Stone Edge, and it's with Dragon Tail. And it works. Turtonator manages to block a Stone Edge and lands the attack on Lycanroc, slamming it into the wall, giving it some massive damage there. A few more moves are exchanged until Lycanroc decides to use Outrage and flies towards Turtonator. Turtonator turns his back and uses Shell Trap to explode Lycanroc, but Lycanroc doesn't seem to be too hurt. And if anything, it seems to be powered up by Outrage. By looking at its eyes have gone bright red. And it does remind me of how Ash's Lycanroc goes when it goes into its angry mode. Maybe Gladion has been doing some special training with Lycanroc to maybe use Ash's tactic against him for the finals. Lycanroc gets in close and lands lots and lots of punches at Turtonator's chest and stomach, until Turtonator fires out a brand new move, Focus Blast. With Focus Blast being super effective, it lands and manages to take down Lycanroc, leaving the match all tied up. So, Gladion's final Pokemon will be Silvally, and that is where the episode ends. So there we go, that is another episode done. What did you think of this episode? I thought it was okay. Didn't think it was the strongest episode they could have done. I felt it was a lot of leading up to the battle, and we didn't get to see much of the battle there. So what was the title called? The title is called The Semifinals Kiawe vs Gladion. And for the second half of the episode, that's right, but the first half, it's all about Mimo or Hoshi running off and Kiawe trying to find her. So I feel like they should have gone for a different title. So how interesting is this episode? The final part of the episode, the ending half, is very interesting with the battle. The way that they actually added the music to it, I thought the music and the backing track worked really, really well with the battle that was going on. But I mean, before that, it was pretty much a hide and seek. Hoshi ran off somewhere and was with Gladion while Kiawe and his friends were trying to find her. So interest could have been brought up a little more. Although, like I said in the episode, the way that they portrayed Mimo and Gladion's relationship, being Mimo being the little girl, wanting Gladion to look after her, I thought that was very, very good. They nailed that 100%. I'm really happy with the way that they did that. So my final rating for the episode will be a 7 out of 10. They could have improved, but I'm still really glad at the way that they handled some of the situations in this. So a 7 out of 10 is what I'm going to give this episode. And in fact, that's where I'm going to end my episode off as well. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Lets me know that you want more of these. I feel like I'm a broken record. I'm saying the same things every single day at the outro. Comment down below in the comment section. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Like I said, I'm going to try and reply to a lot more comments when I can. And finally, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are bringing one of these every single week. We are also getting close to Pokemon Masters being released, and I have said I do want to play that when it does come out. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, where we'll finish off the episode and hopefully get the start of Ash and Guzma. So I'll see you then.